Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to the video. It's a double upload today. We got some crazy news coming out from basically everywhere. First, the Valiant and Dallas Fuel are engaged in trade talks for various players on both teams. Huge news, we're going to talk about that. It's absolutely crazy, guys. Coming from Slasher, Flower has also been announced to be playing on NYXL2 Academy roster, which means a lot, guys. Once Flower turns 18, he'll be up for grabs. We'll talk about that. XQC leaked a few interesting things today on his stream as well. We're going to cover those. Like I said, guys, it's been quite an exciting day. Be sure, if you're new here, consider dropping the subscription on my channel. I upload daily videos with all news, any updates you ever need, you can find here. And lastly, guys, I am doing a podcast tomorrow. It's the first of its kind in the Overwatch scene. It is a call-in podcast, so that means you guys, the viewers, can join in and talk to me, debate, talk about anything you would like. Follow my Twitch tomorrow. It's going to be live at 8 p.m. Eastern. You also have to be in the Discord to potentially get on this show. Now let's go ahead and hop into it, guys. So starting off with the Los Angeles Valiant Dallas Fuel leaks. Coming from Slasher on Twitter, he said this: as the LA Valiant continue to have difficulty in game, tensions are growing within the organization. Several Valiant players are now being considered for trade or sale, including their French stars Unco and Soon, sources said. He followed up with another tweet saying this: Valiant and the Dallas Fuel are engaged in trade talks for various players on both teams, sources said. The Valiant are interested in a Korean Tracer player to mesh with the team, while the Fuel consider rebuilding options across several positions. If you guys don't know who Slasher is, he's been leaking a ton of information on Overwatch League, Overwatch Contenders. Almost everything his sources have told him have been true. There's been one slip up that really wasn't his fault. Other than that, he's 100% correct. So I 100% believe these are true, and it's definitely believable. Starting off with the Los Angeles Valiant, clearly if you watch their Inside LA Valiant videos, you know they're struggling. They've had major coaching issues from the start. They've already gone through 3 head coaches. The players definitely seem very toxic. In particular, in one of the last episodes, it seemed like Agilities was basically bullied. And there were a lot of rumors going around. The community was really pointing fingers at Soon and Unco for multiple reasons. Unco is known for being a guy that is just not very nice, especially if you watch his stream. So again, it's definitely 100% believable that they have Unco and Soon up for trade, and they're trying to go full Korean. I don't know what this means for Agilities and their sister team. Hopefully they'll continue to stay on the team, because Agility seems like a great guy, a hard worker, and somebody who's willing to take criticism. It just seems he's definitely been put in a crappy situation with players on the team that are pretty toxic. As for the Dallas Fuel, I would have believed this 100% without a doubt 3 days ago. And it probably is true, and definitely was true 3 days ago. I would imagine that maybe Dallas Fuel are having second thoughts now, considering how well they've been performing as of recently. Obviously, throughout this season, Effect hasn't seemed happy at all, so I could see him wanting to be traded, especially going to a team with players like Fate and Envy, who are also Korean and very strong. If I were to speculate a little, an interesting trade in my mind would be Soon, Unco, and Agilities. Yes, Agilities might have problems with Unco and Soon, but on paper, this does make sense. Sending Unco, Soon, and Agilities over to the Dallas Fuel, and then in return, the Dallas Fuel will send Rascal and Effect to the Los Angeles Valiant, therefore leaving the Dallas Fuel full Western and leaving the Los Angeles Valiant full Korean. You would also be uniting Unco, Soon, and AKM, who obviously would like to play together. Agilities would take over the projectile role, and I think it's a pretty even trade. Sure, it's 3 players for 2 players, but obviously Effect and Rascal should be valued higher. Let me know down below what you guys think about this situation. Should the Los Angeles Valiant be looking to trade these players? Should Dallas Fuel be looking to trade players, especially with their newfound success on their new roster? Let's go ahead and move on to the next topic, which is Flower and the New York Excelsior. So it was announced today on the XL2 Academy roster, which, if you don't know, is the New York Excelsior's contenders team in North America. They tweeted this: "Today we are planting a seed for our future. We have officially signed Flower to the ranks of XL2. Get ready for the wildest DPS action on the block." Now, this is really big for a couple reasons. We'll start off with the smaller one. XL2 Academy is in North American contenders. They're a pretty good team. They've had some really close matches with some of the other good teams, and now they're adding Flower to their arsenal. He'll more than likely be taking DPS duties away from Mangachu and combining forces with Nene. This is going to be the most deadly DPS duo in all of contenders. Nene and Flower would be one of the most deadly DPS duos in the Overwatch League, competing with duos like Prophet, Birdring, SBB, Libero, Fleta, Munchkin, EQO, and Carpe. Really, they would compete with the best. Nene is so good. Flower, everyone knows Flower. So this is massive for the XL2 Academy roster. They're going to be improved by so much. Sure, Mangachu was a good Pharah, but overall, he's just not even close to Flower. Now, for the second reason, which is much bigger, this puts Flower in a position where he is free game for any Overwatch League team when he turns 18. Now, what I mean by this exactly is that anyone can offer him a contract when he turns 18. Before, he was just signed with the New York Excelsior's Overwatch League team. Therefore, nobody could poach him. He was under contract. But the rules and contenders allows any player to be offered from any team. So no matter what, any team can offer him a huge amount of money and potentially get him to leave the New York family. He's been involved with that organization, those players, for so long. I could definitely see a situation where he promised them he would stay with them, or there's some type of stipulation in his contract. But the main reason is he can be poached. And you never know, when you're being offered a $200,000 plus contract, you could just end up leaving your family. So that's crazy news coming out from the New York Excelsior and Flower. And now lastly, let's cover the XQC leaks. First, I'll play this clip for you guys. He leaked some Discord conversation with him and Mendo Kusai from the Houston Outlaws talking about a streamer house for Overwatch players.
Okay. Ready, boys? What, can you guys see this conversation? Oh, I leaked it. Oh my fucking god, I fucking leaked it, dude.
So I know this isn't directly Overwatch League related, but it is some pretty big news, and it involves some Overwatch League players like Mendo Kusai and IDDQD. So from this conversation, you can see Mendo Kusai engaging in talks with XQC about getting a streamer house. He basically wants to pitch in with all of these streamers, Calvin, XQC, IDDQD, himself, and maybe others, and they all pay in for a nice house in Los Angeles, and it's going to be a full-time streamer house. There's just a ton of players There's just a ton of streamers that could move in potentially. Now let's talk about the Overwatch League side of this. We have Mendo Kusai, IDQD, who are currently on teams. Both of them seem to be perma-benched. And then moving into a streamer house probably would mean that they are no longer going to participate in practice at all. I couldn't imagine seeing Mendo Kusai renting a streamer house with a bunch of other streamers and still traveling to the Overwatch League offices every day, participating in practice. Same with IDDQD. So this is definitely very interesting, and this could be the end of Mendo and IDDQD in the Overwatch League. Alright, now let's move on to the second leak from XQC in his stream today. He talked about Hastro and the Dallas Fuel and his influence on the team. Let's go ahead and play it here.
It was the owner who called the shot. Mike, PogChamp. Mike pulled the full poggers. He asked that I was put in, you know? And it worked out, dude. Hells yeah. Right?
So in the second clip of XQC talking, he basically leaks that Hastro, the owner of the Dallas Fuel, actually does have influence on the team in who plays or who doesn't play, which is very interesting because this is something that we have all wondered for a very long time. Does Kaikai have full power, or is there someone else making decisions above him? And there it is, XQC confirmed it. He said that Hastro put him in. Sure, it was a smart decision, but we don't know what else Hastro is doing for the team or what he is forcing in. So it's definitely something interesting to think about. And now this next clip from XQC, which is actually kind of depressing, is him talking about how nobody from the Dallas Fuel really reached out and actually tried to help him. Let's go ahead and play it.
But on top of that, having the stream die while that's happening, right? Imagine having both at the same time. How do you think that fucking made me feel, dude? Did anyone ask me, dude? Hey, man, how do you feel about it? You know, I don't really give a fuck, like, from hindsight, but I should have been able to be strong enough to fucking make my own decisions and make my own calls and make my own paths and make my whatever. But then one fucking, I just felt like, yeah, there was a lot of we tried to help him, we tried to, yeah, of course, but I just feel like nothing in that position just sat there and said, like, you know, how do you feel, dude? Like, how do you feel about all this thing or whatever? And I did try to do it myself, the reverse psychology, like saying, hey man, this is how I feel about this and whatever. And I was always given like a sort of like stonewall answers or whatever, right?
So this is very interesting and pretty sad in my opinion. Sure, he does say that they kind of attempted to help him, but nobody really actually tried to go deep or have a heart-to-heart with him, which honestly, XQC, that's what he needed. He really needed somebody to sit there, tell him, yo, man, like, this is what's happening. We feel like this. I know you feel like that. It's kind of a crappy situation. Let's work together. Let's improve on it. Like, we really care about you and we want to know what you think about everything. So please, whatever you're thinking, let us know. We'll do our best to accommodate you because we know your opinion is very valuable. You're a smart guy, a great player, and we want to do our best to make everything work. That should have been a type of conversation that was had with XQC and the Dallas Field management. Also, if we look back at that clip we just played prior to this one of him talking about Hastro giving him a shot, it also gives us more insight that he really wasn't involved in anything. Not only was he not playing, but it seems like his opinion also wasn't valued that much when it came to practice. And this made him overall just feel useless in the team, and he couldn't help but think at the same time, he's losing subscribers, he's losing viewers on Twitch, and it's all going downhill. So really, honestly, does feel like a crappy situation for XQC, and I can't help but feel bad for him. And it really does seem, as more news and information comes out, the Dallas Field's management, they are not doing their job properly. From the coaches, owner, management, everybody involved whatsoever with what goes on behind the scenes of the Dallas Field have not done a good job. The stuff they have allowed players to say and do on Twitter or in public is absolutely absurd. The things they are doing and saying in interviews and on Twitter is also absolutely insane. And as we hear more leaks about what has gone down inside the team, just makes me believe that they really need changes, and as soon as possible. And that's it for today, guys. Crazy juicy leaks coming from XQC. Flower joining the New York Excelsior's Academy team. He's going to destroy. And of course, Dallas Field Los Angeles Valiant trade rumors. Holy crap, it's all so crazy. So that's it for this video, guys. Ton of news came out today, ton of leaks. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys all think about it. Also, drop a subscription on my channel if you haven't already. What are you doing? Overwatch League content every single day. You'll never miss anything. Podcast tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. Join the Discord if you want to get in on it. And I'm out of here, guys. Thank you for watching. Peace.